Namaste and greetings of peace from the land of peace, Mount Abu, the world headquarters of Brahma Kumaris. Today it gives me a pleasure to be with you all here and share some of the insights that we have on this subject of meditation, a positive response to stress. We all know that stress has become part and parcel of everyone's life. And this is an age of stress, anxiety, and fear. Each and every one is going through the experience of stress. Many have tried their own ways to overcome stress, but the more we try to overcome stress, the more we get into stress. Not only that, some people have this understanding that it is impossible to become free from stress in today's age. And they have created such a friendship with stress that the day we do not have stress, we are stressed because of no stress. Life in the present time, I would say, is like a seagoing adventure. Just like Christopher Columbus, when he started out into the unknown to chart some new territories, he had no definite maps with him. But he set out on a journey. He was not aware of the types of the turbulence that he may have to go through, and hardly he was prepared for those turbulences. He was not even aware of the type of sea creatures that he might have to encounter with, the sharks and the whales. He was not even aware of the silently moving undercurrents of the ocean. The only thing he had with him was a compass that gave him a constant direction and told him in which direction he is heading for. And with the help of this compass, he was successful to a certain extent. Life is also such in the present time. We are also living in an age of uncertainty, and we have also started our journey into the unknown future. We have no definite maps for the future times. We are hardly prepared for the turbulences that may come up in our lives. We are not even aware of the types of creatures that we might have to encounter with in the future times. And we are hardly aware of the silently moving undercurrents of the present times. And the worst part is, we do not even have a compass. So, we are totally at the mercy of setting out into the unknown future. No definite maps. We are not aware of the turbulent times, not aware of the types of creatures that we might have to encounter with, and we are not aware of the silently moving undercurrents, and no compass. So we are totally at the mercy of, yes, anyone? We are totally at the mercy of, what would you say? Let it be a two-way communication, not just one way. So we are totally at the mercy of others. We are totally at the mercy of crisis in today's age. People in the world are more of crisis driven than a vision driven. And so it is said that there are three key propositions in the present time. The first is there is no turning back. Things are not going to go back to those stable patterns of the past, as we see a world characterized by global competition. Revolutionary new technologies are coming in such a way. Disruptive social transitions, uncertainty, increasing complexity, accelerating change, and many others we can go on listing them. So things are not going to go back to those stable patterns of the past. Right? The second key proposition is we must find some new bearings. The people who will succeed in the future times will be those who have a very highly developed sense of where they are headed to and what they stand for. As old reference points are just going to fall away. And therefore, we need to find new bearings to steer through the turbulent times. So, new bearings. And for that, we have to have a very clear picture where I'm headed to and what I stand for. Right? And the third key proposition is different skills are required in the present times. And these are not those skills that we learned at schools or in some courses, but these are to be tapped from within. We all have within ourselves, and they need to be tapped and brought out in the present times. Because that will become our strength for the future times and can help us go through life as it comes. We can manage the stress that we will be facing, because we all know that the future times are full of challenges, are full of problems, situations, circumstances. Everything is going to increase. And in order to be successful, we need our own inner strength, which will help us, guide us, and take us through. Right? So these are the three key propositions of the present time. No turning back. We must find some new bearings. And different skills are required to handle ourselves, the situation, and be successful. Because stress has become so normal in everyone's life. What is stress? What is stress? Do Philippines experience stress? Yes? So what is stress? Can anybody define stress? What is stress? Yes? Huh? You all experience stress, so you must be knowing what stress is. Somebody has beautifully put stress, that stress is equal to the pressure upon the resilience power. The challenges are so great, and the inner strength to cope up with those challenges is not enough. That is when we experience stress in our life. The pressures are from all the four sides. The individual is in the center, And the pressures are from all four sides. One pressure is from the past. There are certain memories that we hold, unresolved situations. Whenever we are sitting alone and those memories come up, those unresolved situations, they come up, it creates a pressure on the mind. The other pressure is from the future times, living in this age of uncertainty. There is fear, anxiety. So every time something happens, and there is a fear, now what will happen? What will happen? So the fear is haunting constantly. And two pressures in the present time. One is what we call as the internal pressure, and one is the external pressure. External pressures are not within my control, like government policies are changing. There are so many things that are coming up in life which we have not even thought about, which is not within my control, but it is affecting my life. These are external pressures. We want to change so many things, but because they are out of our control, we are not able to change them. And that is creating a pressure inside in the present time. And the fourth pressure is of internal pressure of my own negative thoughts. Whenever something comes up and there is a negative thought, and it is not just one thought and we let go of that thought, but there is a series of negative thoughts, one after the other, coming up in mind. So these are the four types of pressures. And sometimes all of them come together. There is a situation also. And then we remember something from the past. And that memory is also creating the pressure. My own negative thinking is attached to it. And there is fear for the unknown future. So all the pressures come together. And when all the pressures come together, we do not have that much inner strength to cope up with this pressure. So that is creating a stress within. So when this stress comes up, normally there is reactions, isn't it? Reactions from within. And this can be explained very well in the event reaction cycle. There is a problem maybe, a challenge, a situation that comes up. And when that situation comes up, it demands a response from the individual. And supposing when that situation comes up or a problem comes up and it is demanding a response from me and I get angry, immediate reaction is anger. Now, where would the anger come out from? The anger would influence the behavior. So it comes out through the behavior. And that angry behavior feeds into the problem, making it, resolving the problem or making it more complex. More complex. It is not resolved. So when it is not resolved, again it demands a response. More anger is generated. When more anger is generated, it comes out through the behavior again. And that behavior again feeds into the problem, making it worst. And this is how once we enter this cycle, and the more negative it becomes, more complication, is coming up, and then we are not able to handle that problem. And then, in order to resolve that problem, we have to hire a lawyer maybe, because it has reached to certain extent, time, money, energy, resources. All the four we put in to resolve that problem. And then the lawyer would come up and say, look, the problem is increased so much, and I think you cannot win this. The best thing you can do is, in order to resolve this problem, calm down and just go and say sorry. Everything will be resolved. And can we go and say sorry? Can we feel sorry? No. Why? Because my ego comes in between, which does not allow me. So I'm willing to spend time, money, energy, and resources to resolve that problem, which has become so worse. And this is why it is said, we turn molehills into mountains. The problem was like a molehill, but because I did not how to respond, it turned into a mountain, and that is creating so much of stress. And then we ask a person, would you like to meditate? What would they say? Sorry, no time. No time. They mean to say we have so much complications in our life that we have made through our actions. We cannot calm down our mind. We cannot generate a positive response of meditation to overcome this stress. So no time. Where does the time go? To resolve, and it is not resolving. It does not help them to overcome that problem, isn't it? And that is where they are caught up. Sometimes people sit back and think, only if I would have been quiet, only if I would have handled the situation calmly, in a positive way, maybe the problem would not have worsened so much. But now it's too late. Now it's too late. Isn't it? So, the problem increased and became a mountain because I did not know how to respond. If only whenever situations come up, whenever challenges come up, instead of immediate negative reaction, if we just calm down for a moment, if I know how to go into a meditative state and I just sit back, reflect, calm down my thoughts and generate a positive response, the positive response would also influence the behavior and come out through the behavior. Very sweet manner. We talk about it. We calm down. And then that behavior feeds into the problem. What will happen? Sometimes a very big problem can be immediately resolved. So, we can turn mountains into molehills, not even molehills, but into mustard seeds, maybe. Small thing. And It is gone forever. No need to spend time, money, energy, and resources because it is resolved, because I knew how to respond. And when that positive response is there, it comes out through the behavior, feeds into the problem, and the problem is resolved. And the person can be light, always be light. Most of the stress is because wrong response. Wrong responses generated, negative responses generated. So this is what time is demanding, or the call of time is that I need to sit back and reflect. Generate that energy from within, charge the battery of the soul, and when we charge ourselves from within, we will be in a better position to respond, generate positive responses, and be stress-free. So you like to be stress-free, or you'd like to learn how to manage stress? What do you feel? You like to be free from stress, or you'd like to learn the technique to manage stress? What? Huh? Free from stress? Or you believe, or you are in that illusion, you can never be stress-free? Huh? Can you be stress-free, or can you never be stress-free? You can, definitely. Who would like to be diseased throughout their lives? Today, if there is a small change in weather and there is a viral infection, we have fever, cough, cold, we immediately go to the doctor and tell him, I'm feeling feverish, cough, cold, can you help me? And the doctor would say, oh, it's a viral fever because of the change in weather. Anyway, take this antibiotic for 3 days and take some multivitamins so that you do not feel the weakness. So for a viral infection also, we do not like to carry on in life with that. We immediately want to overcome it. And you think that stress is there forever? Can't we be relieved from stress? Yes, we can. Why is there the stress? Just as when there is viral fever in the body, it is because the physical immunity has gone down. And when the physical immunity comes down, viral infections, they take over. We get those viral infections. Similarly, stress is because when spiritual immunity goes down, when there is very less spiritual immunity, small things disturb our mind, small things make us feel uneasy, small things make us reactive. We are not able to tolerate, we are not able to cope up, and a lot of misunderstanding is created. Therefore, it is said, always be aware of one family and do not allow that family to enter your life. And which is that family? The family is, first of all, it is always misunderstanding that comes up in our life. Right? When the spiritual immunity is low, misunderstanding. And then we say, sorry, I did not understand you. But if the ego is there, we can't even say sorry. Right? So she's always first to enter anybody's life, but she's never alone. She's always accompanied by her companion, Mr. Doubt. Right? Whenever there is misunderstanding, there is Mr. Doubt. It must be like this, it must be like that, this must have happened, this must have been the position, no? So and so. And when the two are there, their four children accompany them. And which are the four children? Master jealousy, master hatred, master animosity, and master leg pulling. We start pulling the legs of one another as soon as we get a chance. Let me show him what he feels like. Huh? So this whole family is so much internally connected, and they have so much of unity. Wherever they go, in whichever relationship they would go together. And this is how in the world we find many relationships are just breaking up. What is the reason? Misunderstanding. A small misunderstanding and it broke the relationship. And then there were so many doubts. And when this whole family enters, there is a lot of stress. And it becomes very difficult for us to handle that stress. Am I right? Am I right? How does misunderstanding enter our life? We'd like to do a small exercise. Everyone would like to do a small exercise on how misunderstanding comes up in life. Do you have a piece of paper and a pen? A piece of paper and a pen. Please distribute. A small piece of paper and a pen. This is an exercise on how misunderstanding comes in our life. Okay? Or you can do on your phones also if you know how to do it. So everyone has got a piece of paper? Yes? Everyone has got a piece of paper? Yes, everyone? Anyone left out yet? No. Okay. Now, draw a horizontal line. Draw a horizontal line. Yes? Everyone has done that? Draw a horizontal line. Done? Done? Now write the first and the last letter of your first name at each ends. Write the first and the last letter of your first name at each ends. Write the first and the last letter of your first name at each ends. Have you done that? Okay. How many of you have written one letter here, one letter here? Raise your hands. Two letters. Okay. How many of you have written first and last here, first and last here? Four letters. One, two. Only two? Four letters. First and last here, first and last here. What did I say? What did I say? Can anyone repeat the sentence? First and last letter of your first name at each ends, right? Write the first and the last letter of your first name at each ends. So how much should you write? Four. And how much you wrote? Two. Misunderstanding? And when I'm telling you beforehand, this is an exercise on misunderstanding, you should have been careful. Now I have a doubt. Now I have a doubt that since 15-20 minutes, whatever I've been speaking, how much is misunderstood? Huh? Are you understanding what I'm speaking? Do you follow my English? Do you follow my English? Is it easy to understand? Then a simple sentence. Write the first and the last letter of your first name at each end. So simple English. But only one person has done accurate, no one else. Why? Why this misunderstanding? So my communication is not clear? Is my communication clear? So where is the problem, on your side or my side? Where is the problem, on your side or my side? Are you sure? Now you have a doubt. Now you have a doubt that we are all educated people. And how come? How come we didn't understand this simple sentence? So there must be definitely a trick. There must be definitely a trick, right? You are having this doubt? Now we should not pull, otherwise the other family members will also enter, right? And create a lot of stress. So, you would like to know where the misunderstanding came from? Yes? You'd like to know or not? You'd like to know why you made this mistake? Because when I was speaking, I was very clear in my mind what I wanted, two letters. I was having perfect verbal communication. My verbal communication was very perfect. But when I was speaking, you are not listening to me. You are not listening to me, because if you would have listened, you would have done it accurately. What were you doing? When I was speaking, you were not listening to me. What were you doing? No. I asked you, so have you drawn a horizontal line? And when you said yes, then I started speaking further, because I had mentioned before giving you this exercise. This is an exercise on misunderstanding. I told you before, isn't it? But still, if 99.9% people have done it wrong, after knowing it also, what should we say? So when I was speaking, you were not listening to me. What were you doing? You were looking at me. And what was I doing? My body communication was not accurate. I said, write the first and the last letter of your first name. So everyone was looking at this finger, and this finger misguided all of us. It is very easy for all of you to accept that the problem is on our side, but in practical life, it is not that easy. And this is where clashes come up. And you would say, I know what I said. And the other one would say, we also understood, we are educated people. We also understood what you said. It was not this. And the other one would say, yes, it was this, and this is how. And there is stress. The other one would have a doubt, he's trying to let me down in front of everyone. I will teach him a lesson. And then there is jealousy, hatred, and very fast they all enter. And then we don't know how this misunderstanding erupted in our relationship. Because we don't know that the body language many a times communicates something else and people are not listening. They are just looking at the body language and trying to understand. Nowadays, when we talk on our cell phones, there also we are talking on the cell phone with somebody and we are using our body language so much. And a third person standing right far away is not able to listen to what I'm saying. Looking at the body language, he's trying to understand the whole message. And then he calls up somebody. He's saying that thing only. And the whole misunderstanding comes up. And then when it comes up to you, you'd say, I never said this. I never said this to anyone. And the other person would say, you are lying. You are betraying me. I know what has happened. You have said this. You are not admitting it now. And we say, but I promise I did not say this. But we don't know who played this game and the whole misunderstanding is created. And then there is so much of stress. And if we ask you to do meditation, can you meditate? Can you calm down your thoughts? No. And you cannot handle your state of mind. You cannot handle the situation. You cannot handle your relationships. You cannot handle so many things. It just goes out of your control. And then people land up in depression. Land up in depression just because of this. Right? You have the experience. You have seen such cases in practical life. So what is stress? Whenever there is stress, stress comes with a message. Stress is a form of pain that comes to tell me that there is something I need to change. And that pain is a messenger that comes to tell me that there is something I need to learn in order to change. During the period of time, we have learned so many things that were not to be learned. So now we need to unlearn something and relearn something in order to bring about this change. So that I overcome the pain. If I'm not willing to learn, I cannot overcome the pain and the stress will continue throughout my life. It is very difficult to handle yourself at that time, right? So, time demands that we need to empower ourselves. And how do we empower ourselves? Just as for the physical body, if you want to increase your physical immunity, there are 3 things that you need. And which are the 3 things? We need proper nourishment, which has proper vitamins, minerals, etc. The second thing, rest should be given to the body. And the third thing is exercise. 3 things to empower the physical body so that your physical immunity enhances, increases. Similarly, to increase your spiritual immunity, your mental immunity, there also you need these 3 things. Nourishment for the mind. What is the nourishment for the mind? Nourishment for the mind? Yes. What is the nourishment for the mind? Good thoughts. Good thoughts, positive thoughts, purposeful thoughts, powerful thoughts. This is the nourishment for the mind, right? Spiritual thoughts. which arises our spirits, which motivates our spirits. So, the proper nourishment for the mind is good thoughts, spiritual thoughts, positive thoughts. Regularly, just as we nourish the body 2 times a day, 3 times a day, I need to nourish the mind also at least once a day. Nourish the mind with some good thoughts. Allow the positive thoughts to just flow through your mind. And not just flow through the mind, but allow them to be digested in life. Constantly nourish yourself every day once with pure positive thoughts. And you can see the difference. You empower yourself. No negative responses would come out. But when I have nourished my mind with pure positive thoughts, then that is going to work wonders, magical things you will experience in your lives because you are empowered. Second thing is relaxation, relaxing the mind. And meditation means consciously relaxing the mind. Meditation means consciously relaxing the mind. We can sit for a few times during the day. Just relax your mind. Allow the positive thoughts to just flow. And you will feel so refreshing, as if you have recharged your spirits. You have motivated the self. So we need to relax the mind during the day. Many a times people ask us, when should we do meditation? 2 times. For how much minutes? 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. Is it okay? Why I said 20 minutes? Because it is medically proven that when a person gets angry, 5 minutes of boiling anger, 5 minutes, drains you, drains the mental energy, spiritual energy for the next 2 hours. You cannot focus your mind on any work for the next 2 hours. This is medically proven. 5 minutes of boiling temper, anger, so much negativity in the mind, and that cannot allow you to focus your mind for the next 2 hours. So if you get angry for 20 minutes, what happens? 8 hours of your working efficiency is gone. Many times you might have experienced this in life. Some days were such crap days. Yes? You couldn't do anything creative. You couldn't focus your mind the whole day, and there was someone who was constantly disturbing you and eating your mind. Isn't it eating the energy away? So, when you get up in the morning, just relax your mind for 20 minutes. Why? So that you recharge your battery for the 8 hours. 8 hours you need to recharge. Every day we recharge the mobile. If someday we are not able to recharge our mobile, what happens? The next day will be a full day of frustration and nothing else. You cannot call anyone because the battery is gone. You don't have a power bank with you, and there is a lot of frustration created. The same thing. Early morning when you get up and you're fresh, just sit and relax your mind for 20 minutes. Allow positive thoughts to just flow. It is not that people will start behaving very well with you. It is not that you won't encounter any situations or any problems or any challenges. No, they will come. But if your battery is charged, if your soul battery is charged, you will be in a better position to handle them. Instead of getting angry, instead of generating negative responses, you will be in a better position to handle them. Right? So 20 minutes in the morning, then 20 minutes in the evening, so that you have a peaceful sleep. Otherwise, there will be hangovers. You won't be able to sleep at night. It will constantly hurting you inside. So in the evening, again we relax for 20 minutes and the next 8 hours battery is charged and we have a very good sleep. No hangovers. And next day morning we awaken fresh, full of strength. Right? So 20 minutes, can you find time for yourself? Yes? 20 minutes, can you find time for yourself? If you really want to be stress-free, you want to be stress-free or you want stress to come in your life? No one would like to have stress in their life, would they? And the third is exercise. The exercise for the mind. Exercise for the mind is those spiritual thoughts that we have nourished the mind with, exercise them in your life, in your actions. Put them into practice. Put them into your actions. Live those thoughts. We are all human beings and let us be. Our sisters greeted you with Om Shanti, and Om Shanti means I am peaceful being. So let us be peaceful. Let us be happy. Let us be loveful. Let us be pure. We are all pure beings. We are all positive beings. We are all peaceful beings. We are happy beings. Let us be. And you will see that the quality of your life will change completely. Your quality of life will change completely and you will be such happy people without any stress because you know how to respond accurately. You won't react on small things, but you will be able to handle yourself and the situation. Okay? Okay? Thank you very much. Any questions? Do you have any questions?